Hey guys, I'm here with Sarah Hope, a fellow INFJ. Sarah Hope, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. I am Sarah Hope. That's me.
um, oh wait, I had the audio on the other one. So, when did you figure out that you were an INFJ?
I feel like I figure it out every day. um, but I think more specifically, when I was in high school, there was a class that I was in where we all took the assessment, and I came out as an INFJ then. I didn't care at all. The teacher pulled me over and was like, "Did you answer this correctly? Because rarity, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "No, I need ramen. It's lunchtime."
I can relate to that.
Really? I was hungry and she was keeping me later. I just wanted to eat.
Oh, so you're like your teacher interrogated you about that?
Yeah, she was like trying to ask me, like, "Did you answer the questions correctly? Because you got this result."
How many people in the were you like the only person that got that result or
Yes.
oh wow, that's interesting. To me it's interesting that people like when you take the online test, it
Hmm.
seems like so many people test as INFJ and then
Yeah.
in your class you were the only person. That's really weird.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't usually test as INFJ when I take the test.
what do you usually test as?
Um, ENFJ or INTJ. Depends on my mood.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think for me, I can see why a lot of people, well, lately I've been getting, I mean, I always get INFP, which obviously that makes sense.
Mm.
But I don't really get ENFJ, but I feel like that could be a easily, I feel like I could easily be mistyped as
Hmm.
an ENFJ. I've been mistyped as an ENFJ. But lately people have been saying that I'm an INTJ or stuff like that, which I find interesting, and I can see why like people would say that. But it's interesting. That's interesting that you can't get the result of INFJ when you take the
Yeah.
test
I
online.
do occasionally get INFJ, but I usually either get ENFJ or INTJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I get INTJ, it's when like I'm really stressed out though.
Interesting. That is really interesting.
Yeah, and when
Um,
I'm having a super good mood, like everything's aligned socially, I feel at peace, like there's no conflict. I'm just having a great day. I get ENFJ.
okay. That is really that's interesting that that happens. Supposedly my audio is bad. It's kind of funny because we were
Oh yeah.
before before this we were talking about Sarah Hope's audio because
Hmm.
her microphone she had to have her microphone up to me. I don't know where my um what's it called? My headphones are or whatever. So hopefully by going closer to the microphone you guys can hear me better.
I can hear
Um
you.
okay.
Yeah, you sound pretty good. I
Okay.
don't notice anything. It might be
People
different on yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say it might be different like output wise on YouTube, but to me you sound very clear.
Okay. That's interesting. That other people let's see. Um we have a few people that are joining us right now. Actually
Hello.
there's already been a lot of comments, but I guess that was because people are talking
Oh,
before the live stream. Um Andrew, are you able to hear me well? Okay. I don't
INT
know
jerk.
what this
I love
means.
that.
What? What was that?
Someone's username is INT jerk, and I love it.
Where is that?
Um,
Oh yeah. Uh, Hey! Is that who I think it is? I think I know exactly who that is.
who is
Did
who
you
is?
reveal your type, sir? Okay.
Oh,
Um, anyways, so after you realized or got the result as INFJ and you said that you didn't really care, like when did you start caring about the that you were an INFJ or like kind of putting more thought into it?
that's a really good question. For me, it was around when my first real serious relationship started failing, and actually thought I'd been seeing like other people, like friends, talking about MBTI and like putting their type in like their social media descriptions. And so I guess I knew a bit more about it. Like I'd completely forgotten about it since I had taken the assessment in high school. But I took it with my ex, and I got INFJ that time, and he got INTP, and yeah. And it was then that I think since we were having so much trouble communicating, it made me want to learn more about how he worked and like how people work, and me too, because I think self-awareness is really important when it comes to interacting with other people.
Well, that's interesting that you discovered that you kind of were more aligned with your personality type after you were in that relationship. Um, do you think your ex is an INTP?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
very, very.
Yeah, it's it's to me it's interesting that people I mean, I definitely think that INTPs and INFJs can be a good match at times. I mean, really any personality type can go with one another, but I don't think for me it would be the most ideal, and it might be because I mean, again, I love INTPs, but I grew up with my dad who's an INTP and just kind of seeing that personality, and maybe I'm a bit biased because I had a father that was an INTP. I kind of am a little turned off by that. So I think that's interesting that you were in a relationship with an INTP. Um, so you were saying that that you felt like you started to learn more about yourself and other people. How did that kind of translate in your life?
So it was really only after we had broken up that I started learning about the functions specifically. So after that, and like quite honestly, in the most simplest of terms, I spent a year in my bedroom obsessing over MBTI.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Now the internet knows.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wow.
It's pretty bad.
What would you say is your favorite type that you've studied?
Interesting. Um, my favorite type. I don't know if I have a favorite, but I definitely make a lot of INFp friends.
Yeah. No, I have a lot of INFP friends too.
Really?
Um, I think I've said this before, but I think the majority of my friends are ENFP,
Mm-hmm.
INFP, and INTJ. Um, in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you say? Okay, I ask this question basically all the time in these
Mm-hmm.
interviews, but I just find it so interesting. What would you say is like how were you growing up as like a younger child through early adulthood?
Okay. As a kid, I was, I was kind of quiet. I was very into reading. I liked fantasy. I liked unicorns, I guess. I was also very rude. I was super argumentative, like very opinionated. I was always right. I acted out like really badly. Like there was this kid on the playground in the third grade. I like headbutted him for some reason. And it turns out that he had just had his appendix taken out, and like I had no idea. Yeah, I actually felt really, really guilty after that. But yeah, that was me as a child. As a teenager, I was incredibly angsty, incredibly angsty. And I would start fights in school. Sorry, that's not funny. Don't start fights in school. It's bad. Um, I did things like I straight up asked the principal for permission to kick over a trash can.
What?
Yeah, because like I didn't want to get in trouble for it. Like obviously it's completely inappropriate. But like, hey, if I get your verbal permission to kick this trash can I?
That's so funny.
I was I was strange. And adulthood, I think I started to learn that being rebellious is really draining. And I need to.
Sorry about the train situation. I'm gonna put my volume
Where
up
do you live
because
that has a train?
no, why does this train come into
It's coming right into your house.
Yeah, that's still there.
I
The
like it.
stupid train.
I like it.
Because I can't
INF.
hear you. That's the problem. If I have
Oh,
this train in the background.
I mean, you could change the title INFJ interview feat train featuring train.
Yeah, get on the train. Get on the IFJ train, everybody.
Choo choo.
Yeah, choo choo, everybody. Yeah, I know. I'll click the mute button. Okay, continue on. Here, I'm gonna.
Okay, about how rebellious I was. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Um, oh, here's a good one. So, I was very jarring, and I still am, incredibly blunt in everything. And I think because of that, a lot of people were very uncomfortable because I, an example would be like, I I would constantly play the devil's advocate, but people would think that I meant the situations that I was proposing or asking about if they were controversial and feel offended, but I just wanted the data. I don't know if that makes sense. Uh, so, like, and I would say to my family members, did you do, and then like insert action here, because you felt like jealousy, hatred, like just bad about yourself, just straight up like that to their face, and they thought it was offensive, and I didn't think it was offensive. So that's why a lot of people felt uncomfortable with me and still do.
So what would you so as you, I mean, I feel like I can be blunt as
Mm-hmm.
well at times. And I think basically all INFJs, if they get
Mm-hmm.
out of the kind of people pleaser mindset, they can
Mm-hmm.
definitely come out across as blunt. What would you say is, like, how did you change, if at all, when you approached early adulthood?
Oh, that's really good. I don't mind getting personal. Uh, so how did I change? So early adulthood. I kind of lost all sense of my self-identity. Honestly, I had a pretty rough upbringing and I switched schools a lot. So I didn't really have like a stable place, I guess. So because of that, I kind of didn't know who I was. And I eventually got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Yeah, mental health. So what actually changed was I think I got more blunt and maybe more like tough. Like I'm definitely still a people pleaser, but I think that a lot of the softness and like kind of switched, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like I became very, maybe more very direct because I felt like I had to, and I'm not sure that makes sense. Like the only way to get how I felt across was, I haven't thought about this before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am very ignorant
Yeah.
to this, but okay, I don't really know. I definitely have heard of borderline personality disorder
Mm.
before, but I don't know too much about it, or I might be confusing it with something else. Would you
Okay.
like to kind of go into what that is?
Yeah, of course. So borderline personality disorder is a personality disorder. It is a part of the cluster B personality disorders, which are classified as the like dramatic, like really emotional, I think erratic. I'm trying to think of the adjectives that the DSM-5 uses. It's like the very cluster B is like the very dramatic, like very emotional cluster, and that includes borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder. And the symptoms of all cluster Bs can kind of overlap, but I don't know if like someone with borderline personality disorder may have strong traits of another cluster B personality disorder, like histrionic or narcissistic, but they may not necessarily have that other personality disorder fully. So there are other clusters too, like cluster A, which is the anxious ones, and I think like C might be uh, strange. I don't know how they classify it. I think they classify it as like odd thinking, which sounds kind of mean. um, but so borderline personality disorder is something that is it develops in a person. There isn't any exact, I think, known cause for it, but it starts in early adulthood or before it starts to develop. And I think one of the theories is that what causes it is trauma, um, or and invalidation growing up, like not having like a stable source of support, like or yeah. So that's what causes it, or the a pretty big theory around what people believe causes it. And so the symptoms there, I believe, are 9 criteria in order to be diagnosed with it. You only need 5 in order to be diagnosed with it, and I don't know all 9 off the top of my head, but the biggest factor is people with BPD have a very difficult time regulating their emotions, so they feel emotions extremely intensely. And so, because of it, they can be harder to control. They might have intense anger over something that seems very small, and not really equivalent to like the level of rage. Um, Self harm is sometimes a symptom. Let's see. Dissociation under stress, and dissociation is like a feeling of not being in your body, like looking down from above at you. It's like not feeling there. Then there's like general things like anxiety, depression are also symptoms. Feeling of emptiness. This is dark. Listening to Simple Plan as a child. I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. My therapist told me I sounded like Green Day the other day, and I was like, thanks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really good. Um, yeah. So, oh, also, yeah, and the thing with borderline personality disorder is that because of the intense emotions, oh, I forgot maybe one of the biggest symptoms is an intense fear of abandonment because of the unstable past experiences and relations. And so, because of that fear of abandonment and because the emotions are so like high, low, it can make it really hard to maintain healthy, stable relationships with people. And so, that's often what the intense emotions and the impulsive behavior, like self harm, stems from and like circles around. I don't know if I'm missing anything. I hope I did that. All right.
Um, let's see. So, what was the other you said? Um, the four emotional ones are,
Mm.
or the B ones are borderline personality disorder, narcissism, antisocial personality disorder, and what was the other one?
Histrionic personality
What
disorder.
is that?
Oh, okay. So histrionic personality disorder is similar to BPD, but the difference is where the behaviors kind of come from. So BPD, they tend to act out or feel, or they fear abandonment. That's why they might say they hate you or like up and leave you because they don't want to be left first. Someone with histrionic personality disorder acts out as well, but they don't necessarily fear abandonment as much as someone with BPD. The root cause is more so that they really crave attention. So they might, when they feel uncomfortable when they're not the center of attention in like a group, so they might like bang the table really hard if they're out and they start feeling like the gaze is not on them, and do like little disruptive things like that.
Interesting. It's very interesting. Do you have a combination of different ones, or do you just have
Um,
borderline?
that's a good question. I am diagnosed with borderline. I'd say that I have, and my therapist agrees, I have a lot of symptoms of another personality disorder, but not in cluster B, dependent personality disorder, which I believe is in cluster A, and that's the anxious, fearful personality disorder.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I think most people, when they think of like personality disorders, they think of narcissism or
Mm-hmm.
anti-personality disorder. Because isn't anti-person? I mean, I might be wrong about this, but
Mm-hmm.
isn't anti-personality disorder socio being a sociopath or something like that?
Yeah, I think that someone with antisocial personality disorder, me, I believe that means that they are both a sociopath and a psychopath, but I don't actually know how to differentiate the two. I don't know what the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath is, but that is correct. It's usually people that have like gotten in deep trouble with the law and like do not feel empathy. And yeah, although there's been like a lot of talk on YouTube recently about antisocial personality disorder, I think because of Shane Dawson's uh, documentary or something. I saw some videos of people talking about how there are people with antisocial personality disorder that don't necessarily commit terrible crimes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about. Well, I know some, but not enough to like
Hmm.
be able to say. Um, yeah, I watched all of the documentaries on that Shane Dawson put out
How did you feel
um,
about it?
about the documentary about Jake Paul.
Yeah, that one.
Um, so I thought it was very interesting, but I don't know if people. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about right now, Shane Dawson is. I think you guys probably know who Shane Dawson is. If you don't, if you look him up, he's one of the biggest YouTubers, and also Jake Paul is also one of the biggest YouTubers. Jake Paul did some, he's done some questionable things in the past. His brother Logan Paul did some even more questionable things, like Logan took photos of a dead person in the suicide forest. Um, but anyways, Jake Paul, the documentary on Jake Paul, they were talking about in the beginning. Shane was talking about sociopath. Like, I mean, is Jake a sociopath? And I don't know. It's interesting because I don't really know whether he is or not. It kind of made the conclusion in the video that he wasn't.
Hmm.
In the video series, it's just interesting because after the video series, and I'm not saying that he is or isn't, but there was some questionable things that happened, like him and the girl that he was dating
Mm.
broke up, and just there was some infidelity things and stuff like that. So it's hard to say. Like, I think through that documentary, a lot of people, because they didn't keep up with what happened afterwards, I think they felt a lot of sympathy towards Jake. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think about it?
I thought he didn't really answer a lot of the questions that Shane asked him. He seemed kind of avoidant of a lot. I didn't feel like he answered anything fully, really.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, my supposedly my mic is super. That's so
Oh
annoying because I
no.
don't have my headphones. But yeah, I'll be closer so you guys can hear better. I don't know why it's not picking up. Did I? Maybe I changed my settings.
Can I
Okay.
not hear you?
They said that I'm loud. I mean, not loud, not too loud.
Not to that.
Soft. I just changed the settings, so hopefully that is helpful and I'm also closer up. The other thing that Jake did that was very interesting is
Mm-hmm.
even though Jake's done he's actually gone to marketing events in the past. This came out after the interviews
Mm-hmm.
or the documentary. He's gone to events where he's talked about marketing to children.
Oh,
So
I
he
heard
was,
about that.
yeah, he was fully aware of that. And I kind of like was like, how can you not be aware of that?
Yeah.
And we know that he has people around him, like so many people, even people on like from YouTube corporate that are aiding him. So it's like he knows exactly what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Um, how do you think that that documentary could have been handled better?
Ooh. Hmm. I think I'm honestly not sure. I think it was okay. Um, I mean, what comes to mind firsthand is like, don't interview Jake Paul. But that's not really better. um, I really don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if there would be a better way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I think that Shane does a phenomenal job, and
Yes.
so does isn't it isn't his cameraman Andrew,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Andrew.
yeah, yeah. No, I watch Shane's videos and stuff, but
Me too.
anyways, let's go back to what we were talking about
Yes.
with you. So what changed, I guess, kind of talking about borderline
Mm-hmm.
personality disorder, what changed once you found that diagnosis?
Oh, okay. So right away, I kind of already knew that I had it. I had been like really studying personality disorders, 'cause I had received so many different diagnoses over the course of my whole life because I'd always really been a troublemaker. Um, and it just none of them really clicked, and I wasn't really getting the help that I needed, and I wasn't really like fitting in at all. And so I actually sought the diagnosis myself. And when I received it, I was like, yep, okay. And what changed? Not really much changed. I thought that a lot would change. I thought that I don't know. I don't know what it was. I thought like I get this diagnosis, some man tells me a thing, and then I'm like cured. That's not how it works. Uh, that didn't happen. Um, what did change was for a while, I used the diagnosis as a buffer to be like protect myself emotionally, like my emotional skin from the outside world, and kind of be like, oh, well, this is hard for me, so I don't have to XYZ. And then at some point, I realized that wasn't helpful to anyone or me. And I started actually trying to deal with my shit.
How did you deal with your shit?
um, I started So it all happened fairly quickly. And it's interesting because it feels so long ago, and it really wasn't that long ago that I was ridiculous. Um, so I had had the diagnosis for a few years now, but I really started hammering down and trying to figure out who I am and what I need to do and what behaviors I need to work on and where I need to go. in late June when I went to a psych ward. So while I was there, I was able to do a lot of thinking about like what I needed, and it got me a break from my family, just so I could just think a little better, and a bit more. And while I was in the psych ward, I made a friend, and like it was great. It was pretty fun. We met an arts and crafts group, and my question was, "Are you an ENFP?" That was like the first thing I said. The answer was yes. He was making like a clay snail. Yep. We also, yeah, that was a great time. So then when I got home, I was like, I felt like, okay, yes, I can make friends. I'm not always going to be completely alone. I do fit in. And I need to get a therapist and actually do this for myself and not expect other people to do this for me. I need to just do my part because it's right. I need to do my part to help out my family, to fit in because I can fit in. And I thought a big part of my problem was that I was always told how different I was and like how I wasn't like anybody else. And I think that being unique is great, but for me, it was pretty detrimental because it made me feel so alone. And when I think you feel alone like that, it can it can make you act out because you don't feel connected to other people.
I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Oh, I said
You said act out and what
act
was it?
out because you don't feel connected to other people. Like I felt like a complete separate blob from the earth. Like that's not a good way to describe it. Like I just I was always told like my mom would say I'd be like, "Mom, why don't people like me?" And she'd be like, "Oh, you're just different." And honestly, I really wish she would have said you're just like everybody else. Because
Interesting.
yeah, I think that like that separation, that like you're different, really made my behavior bad. It made me feel well, obviously it's my choice to act like a brat, but like I feel like it kind of fed into that indulgence and like I'm completely alone. I'm so different. I'm Nothing's ever gonna get better. But
Do
oh yeah, continue.
I was just gonna. You can go ahead. I was gonna ask you a
Uh,
follow-up question, but continue on.
oh no, I forgot what I was gonna say. What's your question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Do you? Uh, now I forgot.
Oh
Okay.
no,
Ooh.
where's the train?
Yeah. Where's the? We need to get on the INFJ train. Oh, I forgot. Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have one sibling. She is 3 years younger than me, and she is currently in college. She's also an INFJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
Very
you
different
like
from me,
you
though.
relate to her a lot? What?
No, not at all.
Really?
No. We're very different. Very, very different.
That's interesting.
hmm Um, we're, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Um, she was always very, very honest. And I was too, but there were things that I would cover up as much as I could. Like, I've always had a lot of fears, like, so many fears, or like the tiniest things. Like, for example, I am terrified of knives for no reason. So, ever since I can remember, I'd be like, okay, I'm terrified of knives. So, when I slice my English muffin, I have to use the biggest knife.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like, what is it, that therapy where they immerse you in the thing that you're afraid of to like fix your fear, but I was doing it to myself. um And so I was always doing like I was constantly afraid of things, but I felt like I didn't want people to know. So I would do the opposite. Like I would immerse myself in that fear. And so I was very obnoxious to be around. And my sister was very no nonsense. Did not want to put up with that.
Interesting. Um, how do you think, so you said that you started to feel your life kind of turned around a little bit after June.
Yeah.
How do you think it's changed?
How do I think it's changed? Um, I think that what's changed is that I've started looking at my behavior in more of an objective fashion. I think before I would try to like sugarcoat everything, and so I wouldn't have to look at the ugly part so much and really feel like responsible for things that I did that I felt badly about. I'm trying now to, if I do something and I feel badly about it, just say sorry. Because that was something I had a lot of trouble with in the past is I would feel very guilty about something and I'd feel so bad that I wouldn't apologize. And so that's one thing that now I do. Whenever I do something and I don't believe that it was good, I tell the person that I'm sorry right away. Um, what else has changed? I think one is I try to be more honest with myself. Another is I try to realize how much of the covering up and, like, for lack of a better word, lying that I do is because of a fear that I have. Because I would bend the truth a lot so people wouldn't know of like the little things I was afraid of, even though they probably weren't searching for them anyway.
That's so interesting to me, and I think it does have a lot to do with um it's weird because like I think mental health can definitely play a role in how those things are um represented, like personality traits and stuff, because I personally believe in both nature and nurture. I think you're born with a certain personality, personally, and different behaviors and the nurture of your environment can affect how that's represented. And for you, it's so interesting because it's just there is a contrast with, you know, how I feel like I've always been as a child. Like when I was a child, I mean, basically, even now, I have a hard time lying. It's really difficult for me to lie. I used to not be able to lie whatsoever, and my mom would call me Honest Abe. She still does. Um, and I mean, obviously, I can lie and I can give like little white lies and stuff, but I'm like one of the worst liars, in a lot of ways. And so it's interesting because that's something that I've had to kind of get to a level where I could be a little bit better at like white lies and stuff, and like be a little bit less exposing of things.
Oh no, me too. Me too,
Okay.
definitely. Definitely. I would tell strangers way too many intimate details.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I've seen a few differences just from us talking, but I almost wonder if it is stuff to do with like, because I mean, I don't know what it's like to, I mean, I have depression, but I don't know what it's like to live with, for example, something like that. And it is interesting, and that's why it's so hard can be oftentimes hard to type people because if you have like a diagnosis like yourself,
Mm-hmm.
um, whether it's seen negatively or positively, it can be very difficult to be like, oh, this is my personality and like get to the core. So it makes sense
Mm-hmm.
why you would test as like INTJ or ENFJ depending on
Mm-hmm.
what your mood is.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Uh, so, what are some of your goals for the future?
Ooh, yay. Like this. Goals for the future. So I really want to get married. It's one of my huge goals. Um, I'm like really obsessed with marriage. I'm crazy ex-girlfriend. Uh, um, let's see. So big goals for the future. I really want to get married, and to me, that's like a huge web of stuff. That's like, I want to find a soulmate, and I hope that it's my boyfriend.
Really cool. So,
I
we're
okay.
gonna transfer this into the living room.
Okay, awesome. Farewell, Yellow Room.
Okay. Why did you leave? Sorry. My mom left.
That's a sound I'm familiar with. I make that too.
Okay. Continue on. Sorry.
Okay. I really, most of my goals revolve around like relationship stuff, like getting married. I want more than anything, I think like a sense of social stability. I want like to feel like secure, like happy with my friends, happy with where I'm living, happy romantically. Think I just want peace.
I mean, it's interesting because like I can relate to that in a way because my one of I mean one of the things that I really want in the future is also to like be married and have kids and stuff, but it's also like I've talked about this dilemma, not dilemma,
Yum.
dilemma, where um, it's like there's like these two sides of me that I mean I want them to intertwine at some point, but um, it's hard. So how um, how do you think you want to see your life in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, ideally, I want to be living with my current boyfriend. I want to honestly, in the next 5 years, I want to be living with my current boyfriend, be married to him. If he's watching this, hi, you better marry me. Um, uh, uh, um, maybe like I want to make more friends. I want to branch out. I'm actually a really shy person, so I don't really have many friends, and I don't really go to many like social gatherings because of that. Guess within the next 5 years, I'd like to expand more socially, and be married.
Well, I can relate in some ways. I don't like at this point. I don't know if I will be married in the next 5 years, but if it
Yeah,
happens, it happens. I guess.
that's true. I don't know if it'll happen to me either, but I hope. I pray every night.
Yeah. So What's your favorite animal?
I haven't really thought about this in a while. My favorite animal. Probably dogs. Yeah. I really hate cats. Really hate
Really?
cats. Yeah, well,
All
yeah.
right, this call is
Real
finished.
I'm
See
so
you
sorry. I'm
later.
so sorry.
Bye. Just kidding.
I don't necessarily hate cats. I There are cats that I like. My only problem with cats is that I don't like being I don't like when they rub up against my leg randomly and I don't expect it. That's it. Like I like dogs because at least my dog kind of makes eye contact before he jumps up on my leg. But like our cat kind of just like, hey, ram into you. And I'm like, no, I wasn't ready. Yeah.
That's a funny reason to not like
I get
cats.
startled.
You get startled. Oh, wow. Let me play the smallest violin for you. Let me just play it. I'm
I
just
can do a
kidding.
really good SpongeBob laugh.
What was that?
I can do a really good SpongeBob laugh.
Okay, I want to hear it.
I need some water. One sec. I'm going to put the mic down for a moment. And I might actually leave it there because it's loud.
Whoa.
Was that
That's
good?
crazy. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay.
Um,
Did it peak really badly?
I don't know how the sounds was via
um,
YouTube, but
Sorry, YouTube, if like I broke your eardrums. I'm really sorry.
oh, oh my gosh.
What? Wait,
Oh,
what's happening?
yeah, people are wearing headphones.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am. Oh my gosh. Please
How's it?
forgive me. Please forgive me. And, um, whoops. I'm so sorry.
um, have you ever been out of the country before?
Yes. Yes, I've been to Canada. Yeah. I'm from the US. And I used to go to Ontario to visit a friend.
Well, that's cool.
And yeah, have you been out of the country?
Yes, I've been to Canada, Mexico, a few places.
And I didn't hear what you said after that.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I've been to Canada, Mexico, a few places in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and China.
Ooh, what was China like?
It was awesome. I went there for a study abroad. I
Mm-hmm.
went there for it was a 5 week study abroad, but now you have bride on my mind. um, but then my friends and I stayed an extra week
Mm-hmm.
while everybody else went home. So it was really fun. It was a really good experience, and I met one of my best friends there. Like we actually like met in China.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Were you both traveling?
No. So I was studying Mandarin at the time,
Yeah.
and so we were actually in a language school when we were over there.
Mm-hmm.
Henry, come here. Henry.
So,
Sorry.
um, so she wasn't like from China.
No, she was.
Oh,
She
okay.
she was studying at the school. We studied at Sisu, which is I think Shanghai International Studies University. Um, and yeah, I met her there. Her English name is Elena.
Oh.
Yeah, it was awesome. She was someone else's partner because we had language partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of stories from that trip, but I won't go into them. Um,
You can.
What
I can only
was
imagine how fun that must have been, like staying an extra week with your friends.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna put Henry in the room
Okay.
so you can say whatever you want while I'm gone. Okay,
Okay.
Henry, come on.
Oh boy, Henry. Let's check YouTube. You only need one small, I'm so blind, something bread. I like bread. We need some milk. Oh, I mean, milk is great.
Or are you looking at the comments?
Yeah. Um, somebody, I am 6. I am a type 6. Uh, Sorry, I am visually impaired, YouTube audience. So if like I'm squinting and like right up in the screen, that is why, because I cannot see. 6. Yes, I am type 6.
I can relate. I'm actually going to get glasses soon. Well, I can
Ooh.
see up close. I can't see far away. So,
Hmm. Do you know what kind of style you're gonna get?
um, I actually may make a video about that because I think I may get Warby Parker glasses. I've had
Ooh.
Warby Parker glasses in the past.
Hmm.
The reason why I would make a video is they do a thing where you get 5 glasses to try on at home for free just to like try them on, and then you decide which one you want and
Hmm.
then send them back and you send your prescription and stuff like that. So I
Hmm.
may have people decide which glasses they think look best.
That's exciting. That's cool that they do that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, even if you just want to like try on glasses and then you
Yeah,
just have to send them back within the 5 day window. Um, but yeah.
that's
Um,
great.
so what are some of your goals for 2019?
Oh wow. Hmm. I want to move out of my parents' house. That's a big one. Um, have my own place, hopefully with my boyfriend. Another goal I think would be is to get a job that I feel that I can do. It's a little embarrassing, but like honestly, it's the truth. I've been on disability for a while because of my mental health, but I've been really improving. So I think that pretty soon I'm going to be um, up to that challenge. I actually applied for a job at a ceramic painting place near me recently, and I'm hoping to hear back soon.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I hope it worked out.
I like ceramics.
Me too.
Um, so what? Okay, you've talked about like your biggest fear.
Hmm.
Um, what's the best moment of your life, or what are the best moments of your life?
The best moments of my life are the ones where I don't have to think. They're the ones where I'm not hyper conscious of what I'm saying or what I'm doing, or I'm not constantly worrying about what the person I'm talking to is going to think or feel or do, or that it's when I feel maybe when I'm laughing with someone and I don't feel worried and I don't feel like I'm hurting them or any kind of like um negativity or like social spikiness. I don't know if there's a better word for that. Um,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think harmony in
Yes,
general
that's it.
is. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Harmony. That was the word. Thank you.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great.
I was
Great.
like, no, not social spikiness. Harmony.
Okay, I thought I kind of thought that was what you meant. So,
Yeah, thank you.
um,
I'm so bad at knowing the correct words to say.
no, that's okay. I mean, I have problems speaking as well.
Oh.
I just like don't. Sometimes it's like I'll understand exactly what I'm about to say in my head, or like I'll
Mm,
think too quickly and like words come out weird or like slower.
yes.
I don't know. It's weird. But
Yes.
um well, how did you and your boyfriend meet?
Okay, Cupid.
Seems like a lot of people are meeting people off of OK Cupid. I don't know if I would
Yes.
ever do it, but
Um, hmm. I don't know if I would do it again just because dating sites make me nervous. Um, and honestly, like I do prefer to meet people in person. I think that dating sites can be kind of tricky because like you see the person first, I guess, or I don't know. I feel like it's better to like talk to someone for 5 minutes, like in person, than it is to like read that they like a certain TV show and like beer before they message you and say, "Hey." And like the another part, like not this is kind of random, but on dating sites, guys sometimes will message they would message me and be like, "Hi, do you want to talk?" And I think like, isn't that what you're doing by initiating a conversation?
oh my gosh.
Like, what is this? And then I wouldn't respond because I would be so confused. Yeah.
I wouldn't respond because I don't think I would talk to someone. Well, actually, I don't know.
Hi, you want to talk?
Yeah, anybody that says that, I probably mean that isn't like your friend and like saying, "Hey, can we talk about some
Yeah,
like
if it's like
something?"
the first thing someone says to you.
That's so weird. That's so
Yes.
weird. So, how did you Okay, so you guys met on OkCupid. What happened after that?
Okay, so we met on OkCupid, and I think our first conversation was like about French fries. I don't know, or Friendlies. Friendlies, a restaurant like ice cream. Um, and I told him that I was going to an anime convention, and we exchanged like Skypes, I think. Yeah, we did Skype first. And then I went to the anime convention and I kind of stopped talking to him. And then when I came back from the anime convention, we started talking again and we met up and had a first date. And we did a lot. We um, went to a candy store and we went into a bookstore and read some books and we ate chicken fingers. It was pretty fun.
That sounds like the perfect date.
It was really nice. It was really like fun and casual. Like I always get nervous like with dates and stuff. I'm trying not to be, but like really like fancy. I don't know, maybe it's not even fancy, but like if a guy is like, "Do you want to go out to a restaurant?" and it's not like a McDonald's, I feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Or, I don't know what that is. Self-esteem
See,
issues?
I get that. I get that. But I would
Yeah.
feel uncomfortable if someone did take me to McDonald's.
Really? I get that now. I understand why. But like I would purposefully ask to go to McDonald's because I didn't want to seem selfish. And I know that's stupid because like everyone should be able to like want to go to an on a nice date, want to go to a nice restaurant, not have to eat a McDonald's cheeseburger on a date. But for whatever reason, my brain was like, if I don't say McDonald's, then I'm very selfish and very very bad.
Interesting. See, I don't
Yeah.
necessarily suggest something, but if someone suggested McDonald's to me for a date, like, I mean, a guy, not like,
Hmm.
obviously, like, I would, I would say no. I'd
If a
say
guy
no
suggested
because
it to me, I would say no too. And
that's
that's the
so
funny
funny.
part.
Then why do you suggest it? That's so funny. That's so funny. Cause yeah, I don't even know the last time I went to a McDonald's and actually ate something. I've gone to McDonald's. Well, the last time I even went stepped foot in a McDonald's was a few years ago. But yeah, I don't eat
Do you remember the
McDonald's.
smell of the fries?
The fries are okay. I'm a
Did you
I'm a
know?
Chick-fil-A person. So
Oh, I don't think I've ever had Chick-fil-A. Did you know that like McDonald's, they like have like perfume or something that they put in their food to make it smell a certain way so that you like it more?
that's really weird.
Yeah, it's gross. I hope
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A
I
doesn't do
don't
that.
like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Super Size Me?
No, but I've heard of it. It was a guy that wanted to prove how bad McDonald's is for you, so he ate there every single day and became very, very unhealthy for the sake of a movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
was a
not funny.
documentary.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was really scary actually towards the end of it because
Mhm.
he was getting really unhealthy. But then there's got a guy that like he interviews in it that's had like a I want to say like a cheeseburger from McDonald's every single meal for the last I don't know, some ridiculous amount of time, like 30 something years or something, I don't know.
Is he alive?
He is, I think. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Or it might have not been a cheeseburger, but it was like McDonald's in general.
Imagine if it was the apple slices.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so um if you could do anything differently in your life, what would you do differently and why?
Two different. Hmm. I think differently. I would like, hmm, I'm not sure how to answer that. Maybe be better at tasks. Like if I could change something about myself, like or do it differently, I would be more efficient in the physical world. Like maybe more like clean. So I have more time for things that I care about more.
Yeah, that's like part of the reason why I do certain well, I think maybe other people can relate to this too, but it's like
Hmm.
I find that certain tasks I just do it so I don't have to think about it.
Yes.
Yeah. I wish
Me
I
too.
wish that stuff came more naturally. I think it does come more naturally to certain types, like for example ESFJs tend to
Really.
be very, from what I've seen, they seem to be pretty environment
Hmm.
conscientious in the sense that they have this attention to detail where they'll clean and
Hmm.
which is a stereotype, but I do find certain types are a little bit more.
I mean, I'll clean, but like I'll miss something big or um hmm, like I don't really lose objects. I've never really been like that. I always have like my phone, my wallet, and everything on me, whereas like my boyfriend is always losing those things. Never knows where those are. But I'll maybe like do all the dishes and then realize there's like a pot on the stove and be really annoyed.
I do that stuff all the time actually
Yeah.
as well. What's your current boyfriend's type?
INFp.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been in a relationship with an INFP, but I
Hmm.
do find that INFP guys do tend to like me for some reason. And I think INFPs are awesome, but I don't know if I've ever had like a crush on an INFP
Hmm.
before. It's weird. Um, when did you guys decide that you were officially dating or like in a relationship?
I think it may have even been before we went on our first date. Um, when I like someone, it happens fast and I know very quickly. Um, and then it's like the stars are aligned and like we've had 5 children. And like uh so I
Same.
really?
Yeah, I
Oh my
do.
gosh.
Which is
Yep.
horrible. I need to scale back
Me too.
because like I think I put too much pressure on myself and I just need to not do
I
that,
also put too
especially
much pressure on like partners, honestly.
yeah.
It's not so great. But it might have been honestly before we were on our first date, but um I know that on our first date I straight up asked him if I could move in with him. Boundaries extremely thin. Working on that. He was not put off by it. He's a keeper.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody has their preferences and what they
Hmm.
think is weird. Like, I mean, that might be weird to some people,
Yeah.
but some other people, like, you may find something else very weird. So it's
Hmm.
hard to say.
Yeah, it's all subjective.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so how long have you guys been together?
Oh, a year and a half.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I admire people. I admire people that can stay together even
me
even just for like
too.
a year or two.
Honestly, though, this is the longest relationship I've ever had. Like, I'm in the same boat as you. Whenever, like, someone says, like, yeah, we've been dating a year, I'm like, where is this magic? Like, yeah, I can't even believe it because I'm not good at people.
Well, that's good. I hate I hate my hair right now.
I
It's
love your
fine.
hair.
I wish I don't know why I cut my bangs. That's the struggle that I go through is
What? No,
like
they look great. I love your hair. It's like I was actually saying this because I was telling my boyfriend earlier that you were going to be interviewing me. And like I was like, look at this girl. Her name is Emily. Her hair is so beautiful. It's like fluffy and asymmetrical. And like look at this. It kind of looks like Winona Ryder, like in the Heathers movie. Like I love her hair. And that's what happened.
well, I guess you always I think it's interesting how you see yourself versus how other people see you. I
Hmm.
personally hate this bang and I wish that it would grow
Really?
out. I'm getting kind of impatient with my bangs and I wish it would just like
You could do
all
like a little like palm tree ponytail. That would be really cute.
yeah, maybe I don't know. I it's
Like
annoying,
a
very
hair clip.
annoying to me. I think you have pretty hair.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've always wanted like curly or like wavy voluminess. Always wanted like curly hair or like less straight hair.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 25.
Uh-oh. When's your birthday?
June 1st. When's yours?
Wow, you are like a month older than me.
Ooh,
Well,
when's
a
your
little bit
birthday?
over a month. My birthday is July 24th.
Ooh,
So
we're
you're
50 if because we're both 25.
Oh, what was that?
I said we're 50 because we're both 25. We come
Oh,
together, we
yeah.
become 50.
Yeah, together we're both it, the 25s make a 50. I was saying that you're a Gemini.
Yes.
I'm on the border of Leo and Cancer. So I was seeing some people say that they're a Libra.
Libra. I don't know very much about the horoscopes, but Libra is which one?
Libra is people that are born late September, late mid September, early mid October.
Okay.
So
And you said you're on the border of something in Cancer. What was the other sign?
Leo. So
Leo.
technically, I am a Leo. My birthday is
Hmm.
July 24th. I think the cutoff, it depends on what year it is and what book you're looking at.
Hmm.
Um, but sometimes the cutoff is the 22nd, sometimes the cutoff is the 23rd.
Interesting.
So just when you're on a cusp, which I don't know if I'm even technically considered the cusp.
Hmm.
Um, it might be the 21st. Either way, it's like around that time period. I consider myself on the cusp. Um, and it's where you can have both of the attributes of the two signs. Um, but that's if you believe in astrology, which
Hmm.
I know a lot about astrology, and I think there are a lot of interesting things about astrology, but I don't dictate my life by astrology.
Hmm.
Um, I don't look up my horoscope every day and follow that to a T or something.
I looked at my horoscope like a couple months ago, and I don't remember what it said for me, but I looked up my boyfriend's and it said something like you will go skinny dipping this July.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
That's so funny.
Hey, if you're listening, did you go skinny dipping?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's your worst nightmare.
Oh, a terrifying beast. Hello.
She's just the good girls. How can you
Oh,
not ever love
oh,
a
she is really cute.
kitty? She's a good
I mean,
Bobby.
I mean, she's really cute and she's fine because she's not touching my leg.
That's true.
Yeah.
Here, if you put your leg up, I can pretend like she's touching it.
Oh
I'm
no.
just
Oh, I
joking.
feel it. Oh my goodness. It's against the law. She's so sweet.
Yeah, Flair is a very good girl.
She loves you. Oh my gosh. See how she looks at you?
Yeah,
That's so
well,
cute.
I I mean, I've talked about this before, like with my cats. I think I am a different well, I definitely am obsessed with my cats, but
Hmm.
I think my cats are a lot different than most cats. Like there's a lot of cats that I think are I don't think it's necessarily the cat's fault all the time, but there's times I believe again in nature and nurture, and I think that some people really neglect their cats because they're like, oh well, my cat just wants to be left alone, and that kind of sometimes breeds a antisocial cat. Whereas I have always been very hands on with my cats,
Hmm.
literally and figuratively. So they're just very, I feel like, a little bit unusual compared to other cats. Like,
Hmm.
very trusting, and she doesn't ever bite or scratch. So,
That's good.
yeah.
She's so cute.
Oh, they're good girls.
But yeah, I think it's sad how people are with animals sometimes. Like my family, we've had two cats, and we've always adopted from the something PCA, MSPCA.
ASPCA or
Yeah, yeah.
is it NSPCA or ASPCA?
I think like it's called, I think it's the SPCA, but like because of the town that it's in Methuen.
HSPCA. Is it HSPCA?
It's MSPCA. I think because, but I think there's a lot of like PCAs maybe,
Oh, I
but
see.
depending on like the town that the facility is located in, it might have like the first letter be based off of the first letter of the town. Because the one that we got our cats from is in Methuen, Massachusetts. So I thought that was why it was M, and because I know that there are other PCs like in other towns that have a different first letter.
Yeah. Um, well, I think you're right. I think it's good to adopt. I don't know why. Like, it's sad to me going to, I don't know if you have a pet store called Petland.
Mm-hmm.
It was a popular pet store in in Georgia
Mm-hmm.
when I was in college, and it's still around, but it's like I do not support. I would never go into a pet land, or maybe I will, but I would not want to go into a pet land because it's like they get their animals from like puppy mills and
Oh
stuff. It's like,
no. Oh, I think there's something similar here called like Pet Express. It's usually in malls, and they have like little cubicles with glass windows that have like puppies behind it that kind of like lure children in.
oh
And
wow,
all the dogs come from puppy mills.
that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's not
I
good.
got Fleur from which Fleur's doing a little sleepies, kinda.
Oh, ear twitch.
Yeah. I got Fleur at a kill shelter.
Oh,
So she was just a little kitten, and I just fell in love with her. But yeah.
that's so sweet.
What's your You've talked about like going to anime conventions. What's your
Yeah,
favorite anime?
my favorite anime is Anohana.
What's that about?
It's about um I'd say that it's about a group of six childhood friends who drift apart because one of them passes away in a tragic accident, and it really focuses on how each of them were all experienced trauma from losing their friend, but they coped with it very differently. And yeah, I really, something about it just made me think like the world.
Wow.
I, I don't know. Yeah, it's very emotional.
When did you get into anime?
I think I've, I think I've always really watched anime even before like I knew what it was. I watched Pokemon, Sailor Moon, like on TV. I think when I was about 11 when I started like really like getting into anime and like being like, okay, well, I'm gonna pursue this because it's an anime rather than just because it was on TV. Um, And I think what I love so much about it is how diverse the stories are. Like how yes, it's animation, but there's so many different genres. Like there's like action and like very like hands-on fighting kind of stuff, and then there's like romantic like um comedies and like things that make you think about humanity and ghosts.
Wow. Yeah, it's weird. I've seen a few anime. Um,
Which have you seen?
oh, what I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Hmm.
Um, something. Oh, I might be pronouncing this completely wrong. Kamini Toroke?
Did you like it?
Yes.
Did you did you that's the one with there's the girl who is very like cute and like shy and kind of like socially outcast, right? Because she looks like a girl from a horror movie.
Yeah, I think her one of her names, it might be her. I don't know. It's like her name means the ring or something. It's like
Oh, okay.
Sumikaza or something, like whatever the Japanese version is. I think
Hmm.
it's been a long time. It's been like since high school that I saw it.
Hmm.
Um, there's others that I've watched, but that's the only one that comes to mind, like the name.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I haven't seen too many. My sister's seen probably more than anybody that's
Hmm.
watching right now.
Yeah,
She's seen so many animes, and she also goes to anime conventions as well. And
really.
she lives in Japan, so
Wow. That's an amazing feat.
yeah,
What does she have a favorite genre that you know of when it
I
comes to
don't know.
anime?
I don't know. And the
Mhm.
thing is, my sister really, well, she'd probably like kick me right now if I was talking about this because she really wants people. I mean, I agree with her because, like, when you talk about like anime and liking anime,
Mhm.
then it's like, oh, that's the only reason you like Japanese or like Japan or
Yeah.
whatever. But my sister's really into the culture mostly,
Mhm.
so she probably wouldn't like that I was like saying, she's into anime.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of stigma around like if you like anime, then you're like a weeaboo or like you haven't I think people make it out to be like you're not deep maybe, like you haven't thought into what you're doing, like maybe you're naive or I don't know how to word that differently.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you fetishize
Yes.
people
Mhm.
or just Asian people in general, which is so weird.
Mhm.
I think any culture that's fetishized, I saw that a lot with like, because I used to be really into, well, I still am into Korean culture,
Mhm.
but like I knew a lot about like at the when I was in high school and like early college, I knew so much about like K-pop and like all the bands and
Do you
different
have a
things.
favorite?
I mean, I don't watch K-pop or listen to K-pop anymore as much, but at the time, Big Bang was my favorite band.
Mhm.
What about you?
I don't know that much about K-pop. And I've only really started like listening to it honestly very recently, but right now I like Blackpink.
Yeah, I've heard that I think that's a newer artist or like band
Yeah,
or
there's
any.
four girls and they're so cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Um
the music videos are just amazing. I don't know how to describe it. There's so much detail that goes into them, and the colors are just so vivid.
Yeah, I've noticed that with just like K-pop in general, they're very.
Hmm.
I find that, I mean, it has to do with their entertainment companies, and I don't really agree with a lot of stuff that happens in those entertainment companies, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's really strange how like they release like the artists like weight and height like all the time. That's kind of like, did you know that?
Yes, it's
How
really
do you
weird.
feel about that?
Oh, I mean, obviously that's just not good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because especially, well, men is the. I mean, there's just so many things about Korea in general that are a little bit odd. I mean,
Hmm.
I love Korean culture. Don't get me wrong, and I think Korea, South Korea is really interesting. But they have some really weird practices when it comes to physical looks. I don't know if you guys can see this, but she's licking my hand right now.
Oh, it
I don't.
cat hello. Oh, I think I saw a tongue. I saw a little pink, a little pink.
Yeah, she's just licking my
Oh,
hand just
are
for.
you a dog? Are you confused?
I mean, my cats are pretty dog-like,
Oh,
so
you
they do
sweet.
rub against your leg though.
Oh
So
no. No.
Pumpkin doesn't as much. Fleur
Mm,
does though. Um, but yeah, it's really weird that like, for example, someone that is my height, so like, I'm 5'10", so that's pretty
mhm.
tall. Um, it's like they have a standard that you have to be whatever weight for a female. It's the same for a
Mhm.
male. So like, let's say the standard for females is like something ridiculous like 100 pounds or something,
Yeah.
and they see that across the board. It's like if you're my height and you're not 100, if you're heavier than 100 pounds, it's like it may not be that extreme for someone as tall as me, but still, it's like, okay, well, if
Mhm.
I was 100 pounds, I would look like a skeleton.
Yeah. I think that's true of like Japanese culture also with like and one of my friends my best friend actually has visited Japan. She went on vacation, I think last year. And one thing that she told me was that, was that she said that the people in Japan, the Japanese people were not all very skinny. Like they were more like, I guess, like average than she had thought they were going to be originally. And that um the really like thin people that like you see in like the media and like TV and stuff uh are just really thin, I guess.
Yeah,
And that's not necessarily the norm, but because of that, like Japanese men think that like 100 pounds is an appropriate weight for a woman across the board, like
yeah.
you were saying about South Korea.
Which is so weird because, like, okay, yeah, I can understand if you're like, you know, not even 5 foot, or like you're like very low end like
Hmm.
of the fives, being 100 pounds and that being healthy for you. But for most people, 100 pounds is not healthy.
It's also not a lot of food.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound joyful at all.
I mean, some people are naturally that way. Like, for
Yeah.
example, I mean, then again, I hadn't gone through puberty all the way, but like when
Hmm.
I was 5'1" or 5'2", I was like 79 pounds. But I
Hmm.
also was like 12 or 13, so it was a
Hmm.
bit different. And I also didn't, and I'm definitely a lot heavier than 79 pounds now.
Me
But
too, for sure.
yeah, yeah, let's hope because that would look really weird.
I'd be like, what's the word? A skeleton.
Yeah,
I'd be probably pretty deceased.
yeah. And I just don't know. It's like an issue I have just across the board, not even just with the Korea and stuff. It's
Hmm.
like I wish in general, um, people were, when I think of like how people accept themselves, it's like I
Mm-hmm.
understand there is what is considered healthy and what's considered unhealthy, but some people, you know, being a little underweight is healthy for them, or
Mm-hmm.
I mean by their standard, or maybe being a little overweight is healthy for them. Obviously, when it comes to the extremes of being extremely anorexic, well, anorexic in general, or,
Mm-hmm.
morbidly obese, neither of those spectrums are healthy. But it's like, I wish people would, or society, or just culture in general, would realize that there's so many different shapes and sizes, and we can't just fit into one mold. And in Korea they definitely do that, and even with the faces, it's like everybody, you're kind of, when you go to South Korea for plastic surgery,
Mm-hmm.
especially as like a Korean, you go into these rooms, or the whatever office, the plastic surgeon's office, and see, you basically pick, and you look at these photos and you decide which look you want. There's not much in between. There's a definite
Really?
standard, and that's always interesting. What
So
do
it's
you
like a
think about that?
menu. Wow. Um, I agree with you. I think that um, uh, I think there's a lot of, I think like as people, like humans in general, we focus a lot on like what we look like and our weight. And I think that definitely being healthy is really important. But like you said, that can be different for different people. And a lot of other factors kind of come into the mix. For example, like, um, like I know some people who take antidepressants and those can kind of cause weight gain, but like they'd rather be like 10 pounds overweight than like really, really depressed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um, hmm. Yeah, I worry a lot about people and weight because it's a really sensitive topic, and I don't know. I uh I try not to comment on people's weight like either way. Like I don't know how to explain that.
um
Like I want everyone to feel like they can be and not necessarily because I feel like if I were to like even as a compliment be like, "Oh, you're so skinny." Like why is that a compliment? Or like why am I saying that, I guess. Cuz I know that it's probably not healthy to think about. At least I feel like when I think about my body a lot, or I just feel uncomfortable and like anxious. So I wouldn't, I don't know how to explain that.
I know what you're saying. It's like, also, you never know what people are going through, so you may
Yes,
say something
yes.
like, oh, you look so skinny and stuff, and
And
it's
they could
like,
have an eating disorder and you could be feeding their
exactly,
inner,
exactly.
yes.
um and you just never know about those things. Like, I'm fortunate. I feel very fortunate that I've never had like an eating disorder or something
Mhm,
like that. And I mean, for society standards, I've always been like, I'm one of those people that, like, I'm tall. Again, I'm not 100 pounds, and
mhm,
I don't ever want to be 100 pounds. That would look so. I would be like, I would look like a stick. But but I've always been slightly underweight, at
mhm,
least, for the standard, but it's just my body type. Like I have
Mhm.
a small, I mean, people always say like I look short. It's because like my rib cage, I think I'm like a 30 rib cage or something like that. So I have a tiny, like just a small frame, even though I'm tall.
Mhm.
Um, so it's like, it's weird that people compare themselves because not everybody's the same. And it's like,
Mhm.
and also like complimenting people on different things. I mean, unless it's something that you know the person well enough, and let's say someone was trying to gain muscle and they're doing it
Mhm.
in a healthy way, or let's say someone was trying to lose weight. It's like saying stuff like, "Oh, you look really healthy." Like I feel like
Yes.
that's a better compliment than, "Oh, you look skinny," or, "Oh, you need
Mhm.
to lose weight," or like, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And I think it also puts more emphasis on that they're going out of their way to put effort into trying to do something for themselves rather than just being skinny or like being something. I don't know if that did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that might be a little more healthy, like input.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I was looking at the comments and
Yeah.
looks like Faye the ENFJ, so you had an eating disorder? That's interesting.
Oh, wait, who is saying that?
Because she said, yes, people said that to me in the height of my anorexia.
What did they say?
I wonder if it was something that either of us said.
Oh, um, say the ENFJ. If I said something that was not good, I'm sorry. Uh, I,
Yeah, same to me. I'm sorry that, I mean, I guess even though I personally never
oh,
gone through that, I definitely have had friends, and I've known guys too that have been anorexic or bulimic.
yeah,
That's the other thing. It's like, it's not just a female thing.
that's true.
So, oh, oh, I see. Okay. So she was saying that when we were talking about, like, oh, you look good and being
Hmm.
underweight, like, as far as complimenting someone as for losing weight or like looking skinny.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Well,
Yeah, eating disorders are really, really, really sad.
yeah. Yeah, it's that's so hard. What is it, Flares? What happens? What happens, my baby? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Um, okay, so I don't actually, I mean, I want to kind of change the topic to something more positive,
Yeah, go for
um,
it.
but I don't really know what to talk about. Do you have anything that you want to talk
Ooh,
about?
something positive. What is your favorite scent?
My favorite scent?
Yes.
I like the scent. I think one of my favorite scents is um, firewood. I
Oh,
love the
yes.
smell of firewood. I
That's a good
also
one.
like, it's not my favorite scent, but I also like the smell of like jet fuel, which is really random. But I
Does
would
it
say
remind
firewood
you
is
of
number.
something?
What was that?
Does it maybe remind you of something? Were you ever like near a jet? Like for a reason?
Yeah, I think it just reminds me of traveling,
Oh,
like the
okay.
smell. So it's like, it's kind of nostalgic in a way, even though
Mhm.
it's like a scent that people smell pretty
No,
frequently.
that's really cool though.
What about you?
I really like this one specific candle that is called Marshmallow Fireside from Bath and Body Works.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to have a scent thing like from like that exact scent in my
Yes.
room. Oh wow, I can like smell it right. It's weird.
Yeah.
I can smell it right now. Like, well, I
And it
mean, I
smells
can't
like
actually.
wood too. Like it's like the firewood and the marshmallows.
Yes, that makes me want to get that scent.
Yes, do it, but only when like online when the candles are like 12.95 or something because they're like ridiculously $25 usually, but they go on sale sometimes.
Yeah.
There was a candle day like recently, I think, and all the 3 wick candles were $8, but I missed it. Unfortunate.
Yeah. They have some great sales at Bath and Body Works sometimes.
They do. They have some great marshmallow fireside candles.
Yes. Um, what is something that you want to see done differently in the world, and
Uh,
how could you help to change that?
um, I think one thing that I'd like to be done differently. I think that, and I don't want this to sound like pretentious or like, but I'll just say it. I think I would like it if everyone could think a little more about where other people might be coming from before they make a judgment. Like, one thing that I feel very strongly about is that lazy is not real. If someone is not um, doing what you want or like moving forward, there has to be a reason for it. Like, are they anxious? Are they afraid? Do they not feel capable? Did something happen like to like cause the inaction? Um, so I think that something that I wish people would do a little more of thinking like, okay, well, why is this person doing this? Why are they not doing this? And I think what I can do is just try to do that myself when I see someone and they may not be doing what I want them to do, or I don't like something they did, try to think a little more about um, where they might be coming from.
Yeah, that's a good answer. That's a really good answer. Actually, it kind of goes into what Owen Wow was asking.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
Oh,
"Real question. Did you have you read that question?"
no, let me see. What did he say?
It says, "Do you think self-acceptance of being a specific type, in your case an INFJ, makes it easier to set goals for yourself, or do you find that there is an expectation?"
Was that for you or
I'm not
me?
really sure. I mean, we both can answer it if you want.
Okay. Do you want to answer first?
Um, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I think let me look at it again to make sure that I'm answering it.
Like, do you
Um,
think something?
uh, so for me, like, I think, well, for anybody and their personality type, I think the best thing to do once you understand what your personality type is there is a bit of self acceptance in some ways, to realize, hey, I'm not weird if you think that, or like whatever your misconception about yourself, or if you even have one, kind of
Mhm.
accepting, oh, this really is who I am. But I don't like to use the personality as a crutch. I definitely study. where I have studied um, what little traps INFJs can fall into, and what the strengths are and what the weaknesses are. Again, I think there's a difference between the type itself and then nature and I mean nurture and behavioral things, so that can play a role. But for me, I just kind of use it as a tool in self improvement, um, in relating with others, but I don't really. I mean, I guess I have some validation in the sense that I understand that this is my personality type, but it's not like I'm so special. I'm an INFJ. I could really care
Mhm.
less if I was an INFJ or another type. It just happens to be what my personality is, and and then just going from there. What about you?
I actually agree with you 100%. I don't really understand the whole like rarest type thing. Um or like what makes something rare desirable. Um because I was actually talking about this in therapy the other day. Um it's so strange like being an INFJ because I if you read like things online, it says it'll say stuff like really great at people and then like the most dissatisfied in all relationships. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I don't want that. Um, but I think I lost where I was going with this. Yeah. I personally don't think being an INFJ makes anything easier. It just is for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really just think that any personality type, like learning about your personality type
Hmm.
and learning certain things about other personality types can be very helpful. Again,
Yes.
Claire's licking my hand.
Oh, kitty. What are people saying?
So funny. It's like she's
No
like
problem.
black, so you only see her tongue in her
Oh my
eyes.
gosh, that's so cute.
You're so little. Good girls. Um, yeah. Let's see if there are any other questions. Do you guys have any other questions? So we've been talking almost for 2 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Where has the time gone?
I know. I probably should go to bed soon. Because I work in the morning.
Oh.
But
What do you do for work?
so I've never talked about this before on my channel. But I guess I'll say it. Because anybody that like looks up my Facebook could figure it out really quickly. I work at
Mhm.
an insurance agency, so I
Oh.
actually, I mean, that's not something that I ever thought that I would do, but it's been
Mhm.
very interesting. I know I've learned a lot about insurance. Um, but yeah, we just work with all of the different carriers, so like just different insurance companies, and find like the best rates for people within those insurance companies. And yeah, I kind of am working more on the lines of like backroom kind of things.
Mhm.
I do more of the behind the scenes stuff right now, even though I
Mhm.
do have my license, so I could sell insurance technically. Um, but I haven't yet. So
That's interesting. You
yeah, it
said
is.
that you didn't ever think that you would um be working like with insurance. Did you have something you thought that you would be doing?
Um, it's like hard for me to say like, oh,
Mhm.
I don't know. Like as far as this job goes, I do find it very interesting, and I don't know, maybe I will keep this in the future. It just really depends on a lot of stuff. Um, I actually may want to. I really love artistic things, and I actually also have thought about like politics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I mean, the short answer is I probably won't be doing this for my whole life. I can definitely see it for the next couple of years at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not like, even though I don't know, it's hard to say because like who's to say I may change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have really good insurance through that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
actually basically have free health insurance and a ton of really good discounts as far as like that stuff goes, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't, it's not something that I'm like, oh, I love insurance or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to say because it's like I don't want to say, oh, I don't, oh, I'm gonna not do this, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I would love, I mean, my biggest dream is really to, I really like YouTube. I would love for that to
Mm-hmm.
be like a job in itself, but my main goal, even with YouTube, like, is I would love to be a life coach in the future at some point.
Oh
I don't know
wow.
if I feel very, I mean, I'm not qualified right now. I would love to
Mm-hmm.
be a life coach, and I also would love to be like a motivational speaker or someone, just basically I want to help people on a larger scale, but I feel like I work best with people individually.
Mm-hmm.
um so that's kind of what my long-term stuff is, and there's little things that tie into that, like writing a book and like, doing a bunch of other stuff. So probably my current situation is not going to be forever, but it's going to be for whatever amount of time until
Mm-hmm.
certain things are realized in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like it looks good on paper for my parents at least. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm good at my job. I'm really good at my job,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoy, working at my job. But it's, yeah. What about you? Like, what would be your dream job?
My dream job. I'd really like to. My dream job would be owning a bakery. I really like. I like baking. It's one of the only things that I actually enjoy the process of. I don't just enjoy like the finished products. Um, like I sometimes make song covers and I actually don't really enjoy singing that much or recording that much, but when like the finished track is there, I'm like, "Yay, here's this finished thing." Great. But with baking, I do actually like the process and I feel like I can be mindful and it's kind of healthy for me to do. Um, but my bakery, I've thought about it a lot. I don't know if it'll ever be something that will actually happen, but I would like to have a little bakery and just have like muffins and like cupcakes and breakfast sandwiches and positive affirmations on all the napkins and like be really like cozy and have like I'd really like reading lamps like at every table. Like dim lighting in general, but like reading lamps at the table and maybe like a mini library, like a bookshelf that has like a bunch of dystopian books on it and people can just read them while they're in there.
That's really cool. That's
Thanks.
awesome. I would love to go there.
What if it ever happens and I hope it does, I will let you know.
Yes. No, that would be awesome. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, So, I mean, advice that I would give people about, pursuing your dreams and your passions and stuff. The
Hmm.
reality of that is you have to make money. You have to
Yes,
make money. I mean, I used to be like, oh, I hate money. Like, oh, money's like,
me
oh,
too.
I never want to care about money or something. That was when I was living in a very privileged lifestyle growing up.
Yes.
And I didn't have to care about money. I really didn't because
Hmm.
because I didn't have to care about it, and it wasn't like I didn't realize until there's been moments where I've basically had to live off of $300 a month, um, not including like rent or something, but like,
Hmm.
and I know some people they've had it worse, but like $300 a month does not get you much
It doesn't.
if you're living on your own and you have to like get all your groceries, your gas, everything. So I've been in different situations, and again, it could always be worse.
Hmm.
But yeah, I really think that anybody that's pursuing something in life, like you may not have your dream job right now, but you
Hmm.
have to be able to provide. Especially if you're in a situation like me where you do pay for things. Like
Hmm.
even though I live with my mom, I still pay her.
Yes.
It's not as much as what I would pay if I was living on my own or like with a roommate,
Hmm.
but I still pay for things. And, as I'm pursuing my dreams as like a side thing right now, that side thing will turn into a main thing in the
Hmm.
future. But at this moment, I have to, be
Yes.
able to make money. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I relate like 110% to like the privileged lifestyle, like thinking like money's evil, never want that stuff. I don't need that. Like, and then kind of as I got older, um I realized it's super necessary. Yeah,
Yeah.
super necessary. I I had like a very prominent distaste for like and material things like in general for quite a while, and I've kind of had to like learn to accept that I enjoy items.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like trying to strike a balance between. I mean, I've definitely never been materialistic, and I don't.
Mhm.
There's certain things about, you know, the material world that I don't care about, but at the same
Mhm.
time, things, there's a balance. We have to live in the physical world, and it's okay to have nice things. It's okay to be whatever. And I don't know. It's like there's always a balance.
Mhm.
And the way that I think about like wealth and money and stuff is like, a lot of people think that it's evil to have money or want money or something like that.
Mhm.
I don't think that's true. I think really when someone, let's say I was to gain a bunch of wealth pretty
Mhm.
like in the near future or something, I don't think you really change as a person. It's more of you're more of a heightened version of yourself because you're capable of doing things. So if you're generous now, you're going to be just as generous or more when you're
Mhm.
wealthy. It's like if you're stingy now, you're probably just going to be as stingy in some ways. It's like I don't know if that was the best
Mhm.
analogy or whatever.
Yeah,
But
no, I understand. So like when people say like if someone wins the lottery or something, like, oh, all the money changed them. Like it
yeah.
went to their head. Um, yeah. I I think I feel similarly to you. I think that I don't really get like the whole thinking that people with a lot of money thinking that they're evil or like it's not good to want money or like all of that. Because what comes to mind is like, okay, well, this person, they got security, they got what they need. Like, why is that bad? Like when people want, say, like they want money or like they want a better job or they don't like where they're at, it's not just the money. Like there's something missing. Like they want um, security. They want to feel safe and like peaceful. And to just say that it's like, oh, it's the money. It's like, oh boy, it's paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's that's what is bad about how people view money is like there's both there's extremes about it. So
Hmm.
like you were saying, it's a way like I kind of think of it as security too. I also think of it as freedom. When you
Yes.
have when you're wealthier, you have more freedom to do things. Like you don't have to work as much if you don't want to. You don't have you could go on a vacation to, I don't know, Hawaii or South Africa or wherever you want to go, without having to worry about, or like for a lot of people, because they don't have the means to, they can't do those things,
Hmm.
or it would be very difficult for them to save up that money or justify spending that money on a trip. So I don't know. I think there's definitely a balance, and I hope that like people are able to realize that also, again, like you said, money doesn't change you. So like you're not going to be happy, like happier when you gain money. You're just going to be able
Hmm.
to do more things
Yeah.
eventually.
And like the stories where people talk about how someone won the lottery and then like they had a lot of trouble within their family because like there was conflict over like who got money or who got what. Um, and they think like, oh, well, this person changed. I've always thought like, no, they probably had that same problem before. They just now have a ton of money, so it's more noticeable. Like,
Yeah.
um, like, yeah,
It is
basically what
interesting
you
how
said.
people react. Like not even just like people, well, not even just money, but like any kind of success or something. It's like people, it's like you don't, whenever someone becomes successful, it's not like they, I mean, they can definitely thank people, and there are people like you can, and a lot of times you don't do it alone. So there's those
Hmm.
people that have been there, supporting you and stuff like that. But then there's people that will come out of the woodworks and be like, "Oh, I'm your second cousin. Would you like to like can you help me out?" It's like, I'm all about helping out family or friends, but like there's a difference when people are trying to take advantage of you and stuff. I don't
Yes.
know. But that's a whole different topic.
Hmm.
Um, let's see.
Yeah, it's important to set boundaries, and it's really hard.
Yeah, it is hard to set boundaries with people.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
there's a lot of
definitely.
talk about astrology on here.
Oh, really? What are they
Yeah,
saying?
people talking about. Do you know what your moon sign and your rising sign is?
I do not. I don't know very much about astrology at all. How would I find that out?
Um, there's actually sites online that you can put in your. You have to put in your the day you were born, the
Mm-hmm.
time, the actual like the city you were born.
Ooh, what would
Um,
I search for that? Astrology, like,
and just like look up birth chart and you can plug it in like that.
oh, okay.
Not all
Bird.
of them are equal, and I would suggest for you, because you don't know much about astrology, so you don't know how to read a chart. I
Yeah,
would definitely say to get the one that has the descriptions of each of what you're seeing,
okay.
because some of them just have the chart, and if you're able to read it, so like I can read charts without the descriptions, so I
Oh,
know what
wow.
like it means and like what house and
These
stuff.
are complicated. You can read these?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
would have to like I would have to spend a little time looking at it again to like feel like
Mhm.
comfortable and be like, oh, this is what this is. But yeah, like it wouldn't take me too long to get caught
Oh,
up.
I think I found what you were talking about. It's like enter your birth information for a free natal chart. Is that it? This is for
Yes.
me. First name. Hi, I'm Sarah Hope. I'm a female. I was born June 1st. Where is 1993? So like, oh, I'm so blind. Okay, 1993. I'm not gonna know that. What is this? Time of birth. Um, I don't know my time of birth. Do people know that?
Yes. I mean, you can ask your parents, or like it could be on your birth certificate.
I'll have to
What
ask.
what I would do is, I mean, I think 12 p.m. is typically like a standard time if you don't
Okay.
know what you're, or you can say it's either there should be on some sites uncertain of time, or you can like say 12 p.m. because that would
Okay.
give you a kind of like a more average
I'll do
reading.
12 p.m. because there isn't, for whatever reason, there's no option for like unsure.
Yeah.
Okay. Birth chart calculator. Your birth chart, also known as an astrology chart or a natal chart, is, I can't read, map to the
Did you hear?
placement.
Sorry, did you hear that like noise in the background?
I didn't. Was there a
There
noise?
was like this weird noise that I could hear from outside. I'm pretty sure it was a cat. There's
Oh
like,
no.
yeah, no, it sounded like,
Was it like a Fisher cat or something?
like there might be cats fighting outside.
Oh, like, like small cats.
Yeah.
I was thinking like woods cats, like,
No, 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 no. Yeah, like just like feral cats or cats that are
yeah.
outside just for.
Oh, okay. It's now trying to tell me things about astrology. Um, and I cannot read. Continue. Oh, it's mad at me because ad blocker disable. Block is on. I do not know how to use. Okay. Um, like so many ancient traditions, the origin stories of the Chinese zodiac vary. Some say that Buddha, or Jade Emperor, called on all animals to help mankind, and only 12 responded. Others say that a great race was held to determine which animals would be placed in the zodiac for eternity. This guide is based on the ancient origin story of the Great Race, which determined each animal's position in the zodiac. Is
Oh,
this
you're like
correct?
looking up Chinese zodiacs right now?
I think like I put in the information for the natal chart, but it brought me to like this Chinese zodiac thing instead.
You might have clicked on something.
Yeah, I might
Yeah,
have done something wrong.
it's a
Let's
bit different. But yeah, no, if you look up, I mean, you don't have to say it right now, but if you look up your chart later on, it should be a chart and it should have like all of the different planets. For
okay.
me, my rising or ascendant sign, it's the same thing, is Leo,
Hmm.
and my moon sign is Libra, and then my sun sign again is Leo, but on the cusp of Cancer. So.
Hmm.
Oh, Indigo Yoshi just sent a link of a good chart for you
Oh,
to use.
thank you, Indigo Yoshi. Let's see, where is that? Oh, here it is. Okay. Uh, Sorry that like you probably are either seeing my bangs or my eyeballs. I cannot read. Um, we got name, go, got that, and then we have birth date 1 June 1993. enter the time of birth. So we're going to do noon. Oh, we can do unknown time. Yay, unknown time.
Yeah, that's
Um,
probably better.
birthplace. Enter at least 3 letters of the city name only. Choose the current city from the drop down list and then press submit. Okay, so we're going to go to where's the drop? Is there a drop down list? I don't see one. Hadoop, Hadoop, Hadoop. There we are. We got our Kentucky. Yay. Woo. Okay. I think we got that one. I selected did I okay. English is definitely my language. Submit. Um natal chart report. What follows is your personal natal chart information as well as interpretations of the positions and aspects in your chart. With this report, you will find out the positions of the planets in your natal chart by sign. The most personal of these are the sun sign, moon sign, Mercury sign, Venus sign, and Mars sign. Most people already know their sun sign. If your time of birth is known, you will also find out your ascendant or rising sign, as well as the positions of the planets in the houses of your chart. Aspects between the planets are also listed and interpreted. If your birth time is unknown, you may not know the moon sign for certain. Okay. Um, let's see. I don't know what this means.
So there,
Okay.
yeah, Indigo Yoshi's saying that you can scroll down. It should just, I mean, it should just tell you what the different ones are. So you want to look out for the
Okay.
moon. Your moon,
Yeah.
you already know your sun and your
Okay.
ascendant.
Let's see. Okay, birth chart. The birth chart report shows the thing. The sun represents vitality, a sense of individuality, and outward shining. Um, oh my God, creative energy. Sun in Gemini. With the sun in Gemini, the urge for self expression is strong. These natives are often just as interested in collecting information as they are in sharing it. I am definitely that. Um, curious to a fault, Geminis have a finger in every pie. What? Uh, solar Geminis. Where's this? That's a lot of reading. Short description.
You don't have to read the description. Just say what the your signs are for
Okay.
those.
It says moon in Scorpio. Is that right?
Your moon Scorpio.
Yeah, it says moon in Scorpio. Um, then what else is there? It says um 7 trine moon. I might be reading that wrong. Mercury. I don't. And then it says 20 opposition moon Venus, 17 trine moon Saturn, Mercury in Gemini. What is sextile?
Um, I forget what exactly. I'm not really good at like the terminology.
No, it's okay.
What's your ascendant?
Ascendant. Oh, let me see. I don't know if I've got to that yet. It's basically just saying like a bunch of different words that start with S and then Venus. Um, ascendant. Is that? Um, when does that come up? There's so much information. I don't know where that shows up. Um, oh,
It's probably at the top.
at the top. Okay, you might have missed it then. Let's go up. Um, okay. Uh, and it was ascendants. Okay, that's like it says tropical. What does that mean? Oh, okay. You will also find the sign of your ascendant. Okay, so where is that? Um, uh, uh, the
There should
following.
be a table chart that has
Yeah,
it.
a table chart. What's on the table? Like, is it there's a zodiac one and it has like Sun, Gemini, Moon, Scorpio. Oh, is this it? Mercury, Gemini, Venus, Aries, Mars, Leo, Jupiter, Libra, and maybe not. I don't see. And then it says ASC nod, Sagittarius or node. What is that?
I forget what the nodes are,
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
that might be not really sure.
Is
Um,
ASC ascending?
I think so. What is that?
Oh, I don't know. It's like it has like it looks like a picture of like earphone headset and it says ASC and then node like NODE and then to the right of it it says Sagittarius and then like 12 degrees 16
Yeah,
something.
who knows? But yeah, it's interesting.
Hmm.
Um, oh, okay, so people want to hear your SpongeBob laugh again.
Oh no, but I thought I killed ears. I need more water first. Um, uh, to start with, if you value your eardrums, turn the volume down a lot. I'm not sure how the gain is, and I need water. I can't believe you actually want this. Okay. Oh my god, now I'm nervous. um, are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? That wasn't a good one. Are you
That's
feeling it
okay.
now, Mr. Krabs? No, this is Patrick.
Well, I appreciate that. That's really sad that the creator of SpongeBob
I
died.
know. I know. Sad. I want to do this for him. The higher you hold it, the fancier you are.
Yeah. Well, I think I should probably go to bed soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, but yeah, this has been awesome. And sorry, you guys, about the astrology little segment. Again, I do know a lot about astrology, but I personally don't
Mhm.
follow it to a
Yeah.
T.
I know nothing. I guess now I know that I'm tropical. I don't know
I'm
what
not
that
really sure
means.
what that is.
I don't know either. I also know that wait, what did I learn? Something Sagittarius. Was that moon? I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't know.
You have a Scorpio moon, and then maybe a Sagittarius rising or ascendant sign. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
But I have no idea. I didn't look at your chart. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
um, I saw something that I think Owen Wow said about the tests. I don't trust the test results typically. I
Mhm.
think even if someone seems to test accurately, I always think it's best to study the cognitive functions because I think the tests are very flawed, and that's
Mhm.
unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
I agree.
But yeah, I think. Do you have anything that you want to say before we end this live stream?
Hmm. It was really nice to meet you, and I had a really good time, like, talking, and, I don't know, it's just really fun, and you're a really great interviewer.
Oh, thank you, Sarah Ho.
Oh.
That was really sweet. I just like doing these things. Obviously, I've been doing a lot of them lately,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, and like it's such a great idea. Like I love watching your videos and I think that the idea of like using YouTube to like interview other people is just I don't know, it warms my heart and it's like it's good. It's
oh,
very connecty.
well, I do like connecting with people. I mean,
Mhm.
my personal life, I guess, well, not here in South Carolina because I don't really have any
Mhm.
friends in South Carolina, but just because I I don't really go out and do things,
Mhm.
which is a new will change when I move. Which by the way, guys, I move in a week.
Oh, where
That's
are you
so
moving
crazy.
to?
What?
Where are you moving to?
I am moving to a house that
Mhm.
hasn't been finished. Like we were supposed to move in July. So that's why we've been living in like this duplex. I've
Mhm.
said this before. The this little couch that I'm sitting on. This is
Mhm.
going to be like a couch that we have on our porch. It's like
Oh.
not. It's not a real couch. So
Oh,
it's gonna be
yeah.
interesting. People are gonna see a way different aesthetic in the background because I'm actually gonna have a well decorated room and like all of these things, and it won't be the same because I'll be able to. I will have to worry about like my mom barging in and stuff because I'll be
Mhm.
upstairs in my own little area.
Are you looking forward to decorating?
Yes. Do you like decorating?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think about that. I really like decorating. I naturally kind of have a minimalistic style, but I want to try to not be as minimalist because I
Mhm.
really do like. I don't know. We'll see what I do,
Mhm.
but yeah. But I appreciate that you enjoy these interviews and like the videos in general. Um, I just feel like I want YouTube and just well, not just YouTube, but just in general, like even though we live in a very tech friendly environment or world now, still want to feel connected and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so um, let's see. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on? Is it something in the comments?
Owen Wow basically set a profile of myself.
What? Where?
Oh no, he basically just copy and pasted what I have in my comments.
Oh, okay.
Frequently asked questions because people want to know those things.
Okay.
But yeah. All right. Well, I hope you have a good night, Sarah Hope.
You too, Emily. This was so fun.
Um,
And like, I hope you sleep well.
I will.
Yay.
There is a possibility that I'll just sleep on this couch because
Oh
I
no.
sometimes get in the mood where I don't even want to feel. Because I've been sleeping on an air mattress for the last 6 months,
Hmm.
and sometimes I don't want to sleep on it. So,
That makes sense.
yeah. But things are going to be looking up soon.
Yeah, and you'll get to decorate
Yeah.
decoration.
Well, I hope
Um,
you have a great holiday,
you
and
too.
I'm so glad that I got to talk to you as well. And you've been such a great guest, and it was very insightful, especially like the things you said about borderline personality disorder.
Mhm. I hope that I explained it like decently and like did it justice because a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, thank you. That actually makes me feel like really good.
Well, I don't know. I've actually had a few people say that um they wanted me to interview someone with borderline personality disorder, which
Hmm.
is interesting.
They got
Me
that.
being an I. What?
They got that.
Yeah, they got that like right here. That's so
Hey.
awesome. And I think like I mean I don't know much about it.
Hmm.
it does make me think, certain people that I know maybe have that. I don't know. But it's
Mm.
like I can't make that diagnosis. So it
Yeah.
is interesting that people, like, I think it's better to know rather than be unaware of those kind of
Yes.
things.
I definitely agree. I think knowledge can really help so much. I feel like the more that I learn, the closer I get to, I don't know, like what's correct, like
Yeah.
what I need. Yeah.
Well, it's been awesome, and I hope that you have a great night.
You
And I hope
too.
everybody else has a great night or afternoon or morning, wherever you are. And I feel like I'll be doing another interview tomorrow, so you guys won't
Oh,
have to
really?
wait too long if you really want to watch these. And
Okay.
yeah. Um, Sarah Hope, do you have a YouTube channel, by the way?
Um, I do, but I don't have videos on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say link it to
I
somewhere.
I can link it, but there's nothing there.
Do you want to create stuff in the future?
I would like.
Oh, no! No! Sarah Hope just ended the chat, I think. Okay.
Okay, I am so sorry. I just accidentally um quit minute deleted the window.
Yeah, okay, good. I was
Okay.
like, oh
Okay. Yes, that was definitely not what I wanted to do. So I do want to make videos. What I find difficult about it is that I find it difficult to generate words, honestly, like conversation when I'm not speaking directly to another person and I don't really have someone like to talk to make videos with. So that's kind of what has been holding me back a bit. Where is the paste? Um, uh, I don't know how to comment, I guess. Oh, I do now. I've suddenly gained knowledge. Paste. This is my channel. There is nothing there. Enjoy. But yeah. Thank you so much. And you're tired. Do you want to end this now?
well, I mean, we can. If you
Yeah.
want to answer any questions that you see,
Oh yeah.
or
I'm gonna do that quick. Um, oh, thank you. You're right about that. I think the more you do something, I do have an Instagram. I just made it like honestly a couple days ago, which is a little embarrassing. I'm a little hesitant with social media, but I try my best. This is it, I think. Yes. Oh, thank you, Indigo Yoshi. You should see Glamour Shots by Deb.
I don't know.
Is that a movie? Who was
No.
Deb?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I think don't see any more questions. Oh, um, someone, Owen asked you if you planned on modeling. Um,
Um,
uh,
that's actually an interesting question. So I guess because I am tall, I've always been, I mean, not always been tall. I gradually grew taller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actually grew like 3 inches in college, 2 or 3 inches. So I was not
Mm-hmm.
someone that like grew like at puberty or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did, but like I just gradually, I never had a growth spurt.
Yeah.
I've, when I was younger, so like probably from the age of 12 or 13 onwards, I was approached several times to do modeling.
Wow.
And actually, there was a point in my life that, every single day someone said that I should be a model. But my
Mm-hmm.
mom did not want me to do that because she didn't want me to get an eating disorder. She didn't want me
Yeah.
to get into drugs or like any kind of illegal substance. And she also didn't want, people to take advantage of me,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm glad in a way now, even though like at the time I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like, but my mom didn't allow it. So I'm glad in a way. I don't think I would ever do traditional modeling just because I don't really agree with the practices that a lot of things do because I do have friends that have done modeling in the past. I
Mm-hmm.
think I would only do like maybe Instagram stuff or like things that I had more personal control over. Um, just because I think there's so many bad things in that industry
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like the comparison that people make with one another. I really don't like that.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So it's interesting. But yeah, that is an interesting question.
Mm. Um, Sarah, what music do you like? Owen, um, I like, first and foremost, I think my favorite artist is Pink. I tend to like music that um, is very sad or like, I like really upbeat, like instrumental, like instruments with really sad um, lyrics. I like Pink. I also like J-pop quite a bit. I like a bit of K-pop. I also kind of like, hmm. Then I guess I like individual songs. Um, I think maybe pop makes the most sense. I like pop.
What what kind of song artist do you like?
Um, ooh, I don't know how I would categorize that. Um, maybe. hmm, I think the kinds of artists that I like tend to be people that I see as strong or beautiful,
Um,
I think. Like, I really like Pink. I think she's amazing. Um, I, hmm, I don't, I don't know if I have another favorite singer. Besides, other than Pink, I tend to just like hear a song and not really know who it's by, but like it.
how does the
Do
song
you like
go?
the
How does the song?
song I Will Make a Man Out of You? From Mulan, definitely. Uh, What do you think about shoes? Oh, um, uh, I think they are important and they cover my feet and they make it easier to cross my legs because if I'm wearing shoes, there's more weight on my foot and they're I have really large thighs. Great. Yeah, shoes are helpful. They protect my feet. uh,
Well, I think it's about time that we should probably end this live stream.
yes. Good night, Moon. Good night, YouTube.
Yes, good night, everybody.
hmm Thank you
Bye.
so much for having me.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been really fun, and um, I think people are gonna love looking back on this. I just think it's
Yay.
interesting to document. But yeah.
Me too. I'm definitely going to watch this later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.